Super Rugby is back. Can a New Zealand team win this year's Super Rugby again? Blues looking to defend their championship title, looking to go back to back. Can the Chiefs be third time lucky to win a title? They've been in the grand final the past 2 seasons. Can they do it again and go one game better? Hurricanes looking to go 2 games better, knocked out in the semis last year. Highlanders looking to push for finals positions, and Crusaders will want to forget about last season. Start this year off on a fresh page with a strong squad looking to score some lovely tries. Before we get into it, hit that subscribe. Let me know in the comments who you're supporting, what team's going to win it, which players are your must-have in Super Rugby Fantasy. Who's a player to look out for? Let me know in the comments. Who's going to win the competition? Let me know. Hit that subscribe while you're there. Let's get into it. The Blues, the defending champs on and off the field. Some of the best content in the game. Just quietly, when the content matches the main thing, which is the rugby quality, you've got the secret sauce, man. The content and the rugby last year were top notch, 10 out of 10. Can they back it up again? Coach Vern Cotter, Captain Paddy Tuipulotu. The ins and outs for this year, thanks to Super Rugby for making this a hell of a lot easier for me. They've got all the graphics up, and I'll put that up over here as you can see. So key additions, obviously Beauden Barrett, a massive addition there. Shea Clark, Peyton Spencer. Can't wait to see how he goes. The offspring of Carlos Spencer. Man, that surname, lovely. And then some of the guys moving on. Cade Banks, Akira Ioane is a big one there as well. My player to watch for the Blues this year is Shea Clark. Lucy coming through the Auckland ranks in the NPC, and obviously the All Black Sevens on the 7th circuit. Skillful, high work rate, hard runner of the ball. And man, let's see what he can do at that next level. Obviously, someone like Akira Ioane has departed the Blues. Can Shea Clark fill that void there and just take off from where Akira Ioane has left? It's almost like for like in a way. Yes, obviously, Akira Ioane has played All Blacks. He's played the highest level. Shea Clark, still a youngster coming through, hasn't played there yet, but he's ticking off all those other boxes, and Super Rugby is that next box to tick off. Definitely one to keep an eye on there. Leading from the front, so this is kind of my who needs to step up or who needs to carry on with the form that they've been running for the past few years. And for the Blues this year, it'll be Dalton Papali'i, Rieko Ioane, and Beauden Barrett. Experienced heads about to level up their game. All three, well, mainly Barrett and Rieko Ioane, off the back of very successful international end-of-year tours. Papali'i was injured for most of that. But a massive year in 2024 for these 3 guys, and looking to roll on from that in 2025. Help the Blues go back-to-back. Massive year on the cards for them. My must-have in Super Rugby Fantasy out of the Blues, Alpha Tongafasi. Telling you now, for a prop forward, that man gets points, a points machine. Look it up. Keep him in your squad. Where do I see the Blues finishing this year? They're the favourites to win it. They have to be. But going back-to-back is it's a massive ask. I think they'll end in that 1 to 4 bracket, but I think they fall short of the grand final this year. Big call early on. What do you guys think? How do you guys think the Blues season will go? Moving over to the Chiefs, getting caught up on that last hurdle is becoming a thing. The year 2023 was versus Crusaders. They lost in the final. Last year versus the Blues. This year, question mark. Can they go one game further? It's definitely something that they would have been speaking about in this preseason. But man, they're talking about it is one thing, acting on it is a different thing, and action is needed here. A huge season incoming for the Chiefs. Clayton McMillan, coach, Captain Luke Jacobson, I'm pretty sure, going with the ins and outs for the Chiefs. Big additions: Leroy Carter, Jerome Brown, someone like Brody McAllister there as well, Josh Jacome, and Fitisa. Then moving on, Tyrone Thompson, Josh Ioane, some of those guys as well, as you can see over there. My player to watch, Leroy Carter. Fast. Ripped up for Bay of Plenty, rips up on the 7th circuit. Another 7th circuit player switching over to the 15s. Love to see it, and love to see these guys get opportunity. In an already stacked outside backside, let's see what he can do there, man. Adding depth to those positions, but not only adding depth, pushing for that starting spot. And they'll be pushing hard against guys like Narrow-Eye, against Sean Stevenson, Etenane Saturo is a very, very stacked outside backs, and Leroy Carter is about to add to that massively. Leading from the front, the big guys, man. Wallace Atiti, Damon McKenzie, and Quinn Tupai. Big seasons for these boys leading the charge. They've all had big seasons last year in different parts or different areas of their career. But, man, how good is it going to be for them going forward? Satiti riding that wave, breakthrough player, international player of the year. Damien McKenzie, most points on the international stage. Quinn Tupai coming back from that career-ending injury, coming back from that with his knee. And I see these guys just taking it to a new level. Must-have fantasy, Damien McKenzie. Easy dubs there. Must have him in. Wallace Atiti, probably a good one too, but Damien McKenzie's giving you those points. Where do I see the Chiefs finishing? Again, in that 1 to 4 bracket. And third time lucky in the GF? I think so. I think the Chiefs, they're my faves to win it. Strong side across the board. The depth in all the positions, unreal. This is why I think the Chiefs are going to get the job done this year. Damon McKenzie running the show at fly-off the back of a fantastic international season, top point scorer for the All Blacks, and he's sitting in behind this forward pack. You're looking at guys like Wallace Atiti, Luke Jacobson, Tupou Vai. Strong forward pack. Probably the only hiccup they've got there is Tokiao injured. Hooker will be a little bit of a problem, but man, Damien McKenzie calling the shots for this Chiefs side. One of my main reasons why I think Chiefs will win the Super Rugby this year. Moving over to the Canes. The Hurricanes finished on top last year. Top of the pool, top of the log, top of the table. Had a huge unbeaten streak to kick off the year. Can they start that way again and then just carry on with that, baby? Here of the Canes. Lost in the semi last year versus the Chiefs. Will need to go 2 games better to grab that ship, baby, to get that title back. Coach Clark Laidlaw, Captain Brad Shields, ? I think. Maybe Duplessis Karifi could jump in there as captain. Who knows? Ins and outs for the Hurricanes. Oh, man, there's a couple. TJ Clark, big one there. Cade Banks. Iretare Inari, a big one. Riley Hohepa as well. And then moving on, obviously, guys like Salesi Reyasi, Josh Morby, big outs there for sure. My player to watch, TJ Clark. Man is quick, like skills that kills. A huge year with Wellington in the MPC gets rewarded with a Hurricanes call-up. And his time is now, man. Not much of the man, but a winger with a headgear. For some reason, it just works. Wingers with headgears works. And let's see how he goes this year. Watch out for that man, TJ Clark. Leading from the front, the big guys, Pasilio Tosi, Peter Lakai, and Duplessis Karifi. A huge year from these lads coming in. Got a taste of that All Blacks jersey or that All Blacks environment. the All Blacks 15 squad, and their trials for more of that starts now. Canes will look to them to set the tone physically up front and lead the pack. Must have fantasy for the Hurricanes? Peter Lackey, mate. That is money, baby, money. Probably Ruben Love maybe in there, or Naholo, also a good shout. But Peter Lackey, Duplessis Karifi, these guys getting a ton of turnovers, lots of tackles, big work rate. Even someone like Pasilio Tossi, good shout there. Where do I see the Hurricanes finishing this year? Even though it's Canes all day, baby, I'll always give you what I really think is going to happen. I think the Hurricanes are in that 5 to 8 bracket. I think without a tried and tested fly-half, it's really hard. Brett Cameron, injury, out for the whole season. That's why Riley Ohepa has been brought in and still needs time there. As we saw last year, he struggled a bit with a few chances he got with the Crusaders. And unfortunately, the Hurricanes drop out of the top 4. It's really hard without a proper tried and tested fly-off. Going on to the Highlanders. A for effort last year, but just couldn't stay consistent. Found it really tough to win those tighter games. Have the squad to shock teams and to give Super a proper shake-up, but just haven't clicked. And we play really well some weeks and then just can't back that up. Will this year be their year though? Can they crack it into that finals? Only time will tell. Coach Jamie Joseph, captain Billy Harmon is out this year, so Ethan de Groot maybe? Not sure. Their key ins, so you got Sefu Katoa, Josh Bartlett, Sione Vikane, Tikamaka Howden, Caleb Tangitui. And then some of the guys moving on, like I said, Billy Harmon there, Paddy Parkinson, Max Hicks, Jermaine Ainsley. My player to watch, Caleb Tangitua. Fast and elusive winger. Kid can ball, man. Another Sevens circuit graduate. Auckland in the NPC as well. Great signing and a good move for the young fella. Very competitive outside back stocks at the Highlanders. But man, we'll be pushing for that starting lineup. You've got Tavanawa, you've got Jonah Nareki, you've got Jacob Ratumai Tavuki Nepkins. They've got stocks in the back 3, but add Caleb to it and let's see what happens, man. Can't wait for it. Leading from the front, guys like Ethan de Groot, Fabian Holland, Cam Miller, big senior boys now within the squad, looking to make a massive impact. Some of the guys, definitely someone like Fabian Holland, who's got a little bit of a taste of what it's like to be in and around that All Black squad. He'll want to lift his game to that next level. These guys will want to be putting in 8 out of 10 performances week in, week out. And that's the only way I can see this Highlanders team making a push for those finals come the business end of the season. Love to see what Cam Miller does this year too. Fantasy points, or who I want, or who is a must-have in your fantasy, Ethan de Groot or Jonah Nareki. Points. Especially de Groot up in the forwards, definitely points there. Nareki's always giving you points, man. Loves the try line. Where I see the Highlanders finishing this year, unfortunately still in that 9 to 11 bracket. Might win some games that you don't think they should win, but then they just go and break your heart the next week and lose games that they should be winning. They do have a squad that can really threaten that finals run, or those finals the last week in the season, but it just can't seem to put it together. And it could be harsh. They could be a middle of the table squad, but I'm going for that 9 to 11 bracket. And then lastly, the Crusaders. We'll want to forget that 2024 season. Hope no one ever talks about it again. They're making it. What's his name? It's Voldemort. We're not allowed to talk about it. It's Voldemort. To all my Harry Potter fans, Crusaders 2024 season is Voldemort. He shall not be named. Not how they hoped their first year without Razor was going to go, but man, what doesn't kill you surely only makes you stronger. Let's see about that. Coach Rob Penny there, Captain Scott Barrett, the ins and outs or the changes this year. You got guys like James O'Connor coming in, Carl Preston, and then guys moving on, Brodie McAllister, Lee Halfpenny, Fergus Burke, a big one there as well. My player to watch. He played last year, had a handful of games last year, and really, really caught my attention for sure. Jamie Hanna had a huge season last year with the Crusaders. Plenty of games under his belt. A young lock forward. A position that is up in. I won't say there's depth issue there. It kind of worked itself out nicely for the All Blacks last year, but definitely there's spots up for grabs. Think he has a massive season this year. Puts a few more kegs on him, gets a bit more beefed up, another preseason under his belt, and he will look. And it'll be interesting to see how he goes this year. Big lock forward, big work rate on him, huge engine, and I can't wait to see how he goes. Big Jamie Hanna. Must have in your fantasy. Everyone knows it. Everyone's going to have him in. Everyone's going to captain him. Will Jordan. We missed him last year with his shoulder injuries. He's back. He's fit. He's ready to go. We saw what he did with the All Blacks at the end of year tour. Get him into your... He has to be your first pick for the fantasy, for sure. Leading from the front, Tamati Williams, Christian Leo Wheely, and Noah Hotham. Man, 2024 was massive for all three of these guys, all taking up senior spots within this Crusaders squad. Their time to shine on and off the field is now. Looking to them to lead the charge. Game-breaking performances week in, week out. 8 out of 10 performances, and looking to them to help steer the ship for the Crusaders, to get the ship back on course. We're looking at these guys. Big season for them incoming. Where I see the Crusaders finishing 5 to 8. Huge learning curve last year, but big improvements have been made, I think. I think they go a couple games better this year. It's not going to be a drastic improvement. They're not going to go from winning it in 2023 to almost getting the spoon and then back up into the finals. I don't think that's going to happen, but I've got them in that 5 to 8 bracket. With how the finals work this year, that could potentially see them in the finals. Who knows? But I think they fall in that bracket. That's it is for the New Zealand teams this year. My little preview of that. What did you guys think of it? What do you guys think? Who's going to do well? Who's not going to do well? Do I know anything about New Zealand rugby teams in the Super? Let me know in the comments who you're going for, who you're supporting, who's your must-have in your Super Rugby, who's going to win this year's Super Rugby season. Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Let's go, baby, and I'll see you next time.